So again, I'm going to give you free resources. If you ever were to sign up with us at Trading Trainer, we have some extra benefit resources that make this analysis a lot easier. But if you just visit the Chicago Board of Options Exchange website, and you can come over here and take a look at the quotes. The delayed quotes are free. Let's stick with that Caterpillar and just do some experimenting here. So I just typed in Caterpillar into the quote area, and it's going to give me all the options. And I want to look at all the options, not just the near-term options. So I'm going to click on all the options. And so let's start with the one that we create as a coupon. So that's going to be our near-term option. And again, I stick, just because of liquidity purposes, I do this monthly, and I use the monthly expiration. The monthly options have been around since hammer was a hatchet. The weekly options, you could get into them, but my portfolio, I have to be honest with you, I've been doing this with my portfolio since 2005. My portfolio is too large. The liquidity in these weekly options doesn't cover it. So I stick and I do, plus, gosh, if it was weekly, I'd have to somehow move away from being the lazy trader, and I'd have to do a lot more work than I want to. I just like to make money. How many at the show of hands just like to see your portfolio grow? You don't want to be sitting there intimately attached to your computer. And I guess I should ask the opposite, because there are a few of you out there. How many with the show of hands actually do want to watch your life go by sitting in front of a computer all day trading? And there's absolutely some of you out there. I love it. Fantastic. Okay. This may not be for you, because this particular, and I'll be completely honest, this is a little bit more on the hands-off side. But anyway, we talked about Caterpillar currently trading, according to here, $101.41. So I would be looking at the May 19th. That's the next monthly option. And I'd probably be selling the call option. Call options are on the left here. Looks like they're trading every dollar. So maybe I'd be selling the 100 or the 101. I'd do a little bit further analysis on it, but I'd make something like 2.4%, you know, because again, assuming that the option's around $100 and we get if I were to do just a normal covered call, we'd make anywhere from about 1.5% to 2%, 2.5% returns doing this covered call for the month. Yeah, that's not good enough. Plus, I have to come up with $100 times 100 shares. I'd have to have a $10,000 for every option contract, because these options, they don't come singles. You have to sell them and buy them in lots of 100. So I'd have to buy 100 shares of stock in order to just sell one contract of these options against it. So I want to figure out a way to buy something else instead of the stock that's cheaper. I still want to sell this particular, either this one, or maybe even this one. Still want to sell this option and do what I usually do, but let's use that synthetic equivalent. So let's go all the way down to the bottom, and let's click on, get this, I'm going all the way out to 2019. It's called the 2019 leap. And some of you might say, well, why aren't you using the 2018? Because I've been known, when I pick my stock using these 10 tests, I've been known to get as many as 14, 15 months of being able to sell premium against these underlying symbols. And when you get about 3 or 4 months towards the underlying leap, it's time to actually liquidate the leap. So if you think about it, what is it? It's May. So we've got our June, our July, our August, and our September, maybe our October. We have maybe 5 to 6 months we can do this before the 2018 leap would have to be liquidated. I'd rather be far enough out in time that I could do this for the next 1.5 years. Does that make sense? How many at the show of hands does that make sense? So I go as far out as I can, and then I need to go deep enough in the money. And I see my time is starting to tick down here. I want to give you enough time here to ask me some questions. So let's look at the 2019. Let's make sure that I not just, the CBOE likes to default to show me just a few options, and I want to see them all because I want to go deep in the money here. And I'm not saying that Caterpillar is the stock du jour. I'm just using this as an example today because it's just happened to be there. But we said that Caterpillar was trading at $101 right now. Let's look at something like the 60 that we talked about going far out in time, and we talked about going deep in the money. 60 is pretty gosh darn deep. Let's do a little test. Now, some of you that know about your Greeks, you'll just go and you'll look up delta and you'll see if it's close to 1 and then you're good to go. For those of us that aren't like experts at options, let's just do a little test here. I'm going to give you another math test. How many with a show of hands are ready for another math test? And again, I go through this in depth with my 6% protocol folks. So I want to determine what that intrinsic value is. And the intrinsic value is easy to calculate. Just take whatever the stock price, or it doesn't have to be a stock. You could do this on ETFs. You could do this on indexes. You could do it on anything that's optionable. You take the symbol price and you subtract out the strike price of the option. So if we're at, what did we say, 101.43, and we come over here to our 60, and we're trading between 39 is our bid and 43 and 55 is our ask. So I'm going to take the halfway point. $39 plus 43.55 divided by 2. So about $41.30. If I was to put a limit order in at $41.30, it would probably get filled for me to buy some of these leaps. This is a fraction, by the way. This is about 4/10 of what it would cost to buy the underlying stock. So if the leap is at leap price equals $41, and let's just round up to 30 cents. The strike price equals $60, and the stock price, and I keep forgetting, so I'm gonna have to look at it again, 101.43. So to determine the intrinsic value, we take the symbol price and we subtract the strike price. So the intrinsic value in our example is going to be 101.43 minus 60. 41.43. And now what you want to do is you want to compare that to the leap price. The leap price is around 41.30. Remember that picture I drew? We want to go far enough in the money that there's no more premium or extrinsic value left. The equation, like I said, is that our option price is equal to the intrinsic plus the premium. And I want to get far enough deep in the money where the premium's nil. Am I there? How many with the show of hands say I'm close enough? Absolutely. I'd be happy using the 60 leap. Now you could go ahead and try to get closer. You can find out where all of a sudden where we start to see some premium show up and go right below that. But it's always good to put a safety buffer of $5 or a certain percentage. And I go over that again, and I'm towards the end of my time here. So just give yourself some zone, because you want to be able to make sure this thing goes up and down, and that the leap isn't going to take on any sort of premium value.